Well, this was an interesting move, but Kristaps Porzingis is going to the Boston Celtics. I mean, what an interesting trade. So for the trade details, according to Shams, it's Kristaps Porzingis to the Celtics, Malcolm Brogdon to the Clippers, and the Wizards get Marcus Morris, Amir Coffey, and the 30th overall pick. Now, I think there's going to be a couple changes, like small tweaks to this deal, but we know the main people in this trade, and it's a pretty interesting trade. And of course, Porzingis is going to opt into a contract. He has 1 year left on his deal. We'll see how long Porzingis, if he's going to resign. I really don't know. We'll see how the season goes. But we're starting off with the Clippers. I think they're one of the biggest winners in this deal. I mean, they flipped Marcus Morris, who was really struggling on this team. And when they have all of those wings, like Nicholas Batum, of course, Kawhi, PG, Norman Powell, he really didn't fit in this team anymore. And so flipping him for the 6th win of the year, Malcolm Brogdon, who was really good for the Celtics, that's definitely a big W. Amir Coffey, well, I mean, he was a decent player. He had his bright spots, but if you can get a clear upgrade in the point guard spot, I think that's a big W for the Clippers. Now, Russell Westbrook, we'll see if they re-sign him now that they have this point guard. Terrence Mann, I hope he still gets minutes because I really like Terrence Mann a lot. So I definitely think it's an upgrade for the Clippers. We'll see what else they do in this offseason. Are they going to re-sign Russ? Are they going to trade Paul George? I really doubt it, but there's some rumors about that. What's going to happen with Kawhi? Of course, Kawhi might be out for a large majority of the season, so we'll see what happens. This Clippers team also had rumors for Chris Paul. They're probably out of that now because they got Brogdon, but honestly, Malcolm Brogdon is better than Chris Paul right now, just on the court wise, so I'm sure they'll take it. And then for the Wizards, well, I mean, they of course committed to the rebuild. They traded Bradley Beal for pretty much nothing. Chris Paul, who they're not going to keep. Landry Shamet, a couple seconds, that's really not much for your franchise guy. And Porzingis, I mean, of course they want to commit to the rebuild, hopefully give the few young guys I guess Johnny Davis, Corey Kispert, maybe their 9th overall pick in this pretty deep draft. They'll just give them minutes. Next year, they'll definitely be tanking. Now, it kind of sucks that they're tanking the year after a generational draft. But, well, you can't really change anything about that. But, I mean, Porzingis really wasn't going to be there. I would expect Kyle Kuzma to most likely be gone because, he's older. They want to commit to the rebuild. I'm sure they don't want Kyle Kuzma taking away shots from the young guys. So we'll see what happens to Kuz. But Porzingis had a really good year with them. I'm sure. I mean, they pretty much didn't get him for much. They of course traded him from the Mavs for Dallas Bertans, Spencer Dinwiddie. I think they traded a first. I'm not sure about that. But he was good there. He moved on. Wizards committing to a rebuild. That's fine. And then for the Celtics, well, it's interesting. I mean, KP, like I said last year, was really good. He averaged 23 on 50% of the field and 39% from 3. And that was on 5 to 6 attempts from 3. Porzingis, of course, we know, was the original unicorn. In New York, he was a really good player, but faced injury problems. I'm pretty sure he tore his ACL. Then he had some beef with the team. Got traded to the Mavericks. He was decent, had some more injury problems. But when he was on the court, Porzingis, of course, he had his struggles where people said, oh, he's shooting too many threes. He isn't aggressive enough. He isn't using his 7'3" height enough. But last season, he was posting up. He was catching, shooting. His defense around the rim was really solid. And for the Celtics team, I think it's a good fit. I mean, he of course can shoot. His post-ups are going to be really helpful. There's times when this Celtics offense goes really stagnant, as we saw in the playoffs. And if you can just give Porzingis the ball in the post, have him post up, maybe get a couple shots, maybe get one of the shooters going, like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Derek White. Get those guys open looks from Porzingis post-ups. That could be pretty solid. And Porzingis' post-ups were much more efficient last year, which I think is going to be really crucial. But of course, the biggest drawback of Porzingis is his health. Last season, I think he played around 65 games-ish, and he pretty much rested in the last couple of games. So he probably would have hit the 70 game threshold, which is honestly really good for Porzingis. And if you can get him playing that much and not be the Knicks or the Mavericks where he was playing 40 to 50 games, being injured by the playoff time, it's definitely, I would say, a high risk. I mean, I would say, yeah, it's still a high risk, high reward. But if Porzingis can stay healthy, he doesn't have the load where he has to be that star like he was in New York, or that second star in Dallas. And then Washington, I mean, he was healthy last year, and so hopefully he can stay healthy again. But he just, I think, fits well. He can roll to the rim, he can pop up for 3, and just be another guy in this offense. Now on defense, it's going to be interesting with Time Lord because they're both really, Time Lord's a decent perimeter defender, but he's not gonna do much against like the faster and quicker guards in the league. But like having that double big lineup might be interesting. Al Horford, of course, is getting older, but like Al Horford has the versatility that Porzingis doesn't have. But that's okay. He's a good rim protector. He's 7'3". So that's definitely a good thing to have. And I would assume that they're going to have less of a switchy defense where like they switch everything. Now that they have Porzingis, they can probably funnel more stuff through him and Time Lord. Of course, they have elite defenders in like Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum's an underrated defender, Jaylen Brown is still a solid defender, Derek White's a solid defender. So I definitely like this move for the Celtics. I think that honestly, like Malcolm Brogdon was really helpful. I mean, he averaged like 15, 5 and 5, maybe even better than that. And of course, he won 6 man of the year, but like this upgrade might be crucial. Maybe they're hoping that Derek White or like, I don't know, probably not Peyton Pritchard, but like another guy that can like break out and be that ball handler. Maybe they hope that Jaylen Brown could take strides in his playmaking, Jason Tatum as well. And Porzingis is just another option for this team. They really haven't had a stretch. I mean, Al Horford's a stretch big, but like a stretch big, but like Porzingis is a really unique skill set that could honestly be this X factor for this team. Hopefully he doesn't get exposed in the playoffs, which who knows what happens, but like Porzingis honestly is a solid fit. And the Celtics, I mean, like overall, I wasn't really expecting them to make such a big trade. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon was good for them this season, but like Porzingis, maybe they want to go all in. Maybe they saw going down 3-0, all the struggles they had, all the flaws in this roster, which honestly, it's still one of the best constructed teams in the entire NBA, but like they want to have that pretty much perfect roster with no holes. They're probably hoping that Jaylen Brown and Tatum are going to play better in the playoffs, or especially Jaylen Brown in like game 7. But like Porzingis, I would say is a solid fit, and honestly, I like the move for the Clippers. Like I said, a really good move. Pretty much trading someone you were gonna eventually move on or wasn't even getting playing time for the 6th man of the year. That's pretty solid. And also a point guard that you need, that's pretty solid. The Wizards committing to the rebuild, I mean, I guess it had to happen. Porzingis was there. He probably would have averaged, like, if he stayed healthy, like 25 plus points per game. But like, they want to rebuild. They want to get one of the top picks. I really don't know the draft prospects next year, but I'm going to assume there's some really decent players. So if they can just bottom out, hopefully, I don't know what else they could do this offseason. Trade Kuz, maybe try to, I don't know, trade Chris Paul for some assets. I mean, they have the 9th pick. Maybe they can draft maybe it's like a talented player can drop to them, and maybe they can get a steal. I mean, they haven't really drafted very well for the Wizards. They of course drafted Corey Kispert. He's been okay. Johnny Davis didn't play until like the last 15 games of the season. Rui Hachimura, his best moment was with the Lakers, not even on the Wizards. And like Jan McKinney in like 20, like way back, like there's been a lot of not the best drafting at Washington, but like still, maybe they're going in for that full rebuild. And the Celtics, I mean, I would say it's a W. Yes, losing Brogdon does hurt, but like the versatility that they can have on both ends is going to be pretty helpful. So we'll see how this plays out and how the rest of the offseason goes. That being said, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on next time.